In this video, we'll be completing the SBA Form 1919. This is a form that is required when you are applying for an SBA 7A loan. And so it starts off with the purpose of the form. It goes into the instructions, tells you who's eligible to sign. For example, a sole proprietor, the sole proprietor, gives you definitions. The most important definition on this form is the first one, affiliation, which is concerns and entities are affiliates of each other when one controls or has the power to control the other, or third party or parties controls or has power to control both. So if that applies to your business, then you should definitely remember this definition when you see the questions that involve affiliation. And just so you know, about 70% of this form is just yes and no questions. And so we're not going to go over the yes and no questions because that applies to each business independently. And those are questions you have to read through and just see how they apply to your business. But we will fill out the rest of the form together. So we start off with the applicant's business legal name. For this video, I'll be a sole proprietor, independent contractor. And so my applicant business legal name will be my first and last name. I file my business taxes with my personal income taxes. My name is COVID Loans. Okay. And just so you know, OC, EPC will go back up to the definitions to figure out what these mean. For EPC, eligible passive company, this is a small entity or trust which does not engage in regular and continuous business activity, which leases real or personal property to an operating company. An OC is a operating company. This is an eligible small business actively involved in conducting business operations now or about to be located on real property owned by an eligible passive company. For most businesses, this does not apply, and so we're just going to skip past. We're not going to check these boxes, actually. So we'll leave those boxes blank. And let's say I do business as or have a trade name that is other than my first and last name. For example, I don't know, disaster relief shop. Put my trade name there. Applicant A, a cooperative, ESOP, 401k, trust other. This probably won't apply, so just put non-applicable in A. Do you have a 401k plan, including a rollover for the business startup? This solely depends on the business and how you plan on structuring it. This video, I'm just going to say no. Will the management company be hired by the applicant to manage the day-to-day operations? This could be yes or no, depending on your business. And so that's why I said we're going to really skip over the yes or no questions because they are very specific towards your business. But for this one, it's to say no. Okay. Primary business address. So this is where the business will be located. You put in your address. Tax identification number, because I'm a one-person sole proprietor. I file my taxes with my personal income taxes. I'm just going to put my social security number here. Primary business phone number. Project address, if other than primary business address, and I'm planning on doing the project address at the same primary business address, so I'm going to leave that blank. Primary contact number, this is my personal number, which could be the same as my business number. Depends on what kind of budget my business is on. I'm going to say that it is. Email address. I'm going to list out my email address. Okay. Amount of loan request. This is the amount that you would like to receive. Let's just say receiving $300,000. Okay. Number of existing employees employed by the business. I'm a one-person sole proprietor, so I'm going to say 1. Number of jobs to be created as a result of the loan. Let's say I plan on hiring 2 employees. Should I receive my loan? Number of jobs to be retained as a result of the loan that otherwise would have been lost. And I wouldn't have lost my job. This would have been harder for me to get by. So I'm just going to say 0 here. Purpose of the loan. And this loan has many different purposes. You can choose how you plan on spending the funds and list it out here. They give you 6 blanks. So let's say I plan on spending 100,000 inventory, 130,000 employees. You really just list out however you plan on spending the money. If you need more than 6 different options, you can provide a separate document, separate attachment. Ownership of the applicant. For all business owners that have 20% or more ownership within the business, they have to be listed on the form here. So I'm just going to say I'm a sole proprietor with one business owner. I'm going to put my information on here as a one owner business. However, if I had other owners, I would list their information here. And I operate out of my home address. Okay. If I was ESOP, 401k, or co-op, I would check the box that applies. However, I'm not. I'm going to continue on. Can I hear more of the yes or no questions? And we'll be skipping past these, as I said. These are questions that you answer as they apply to your business. However, I will stop at question 9. Are any of the applicant's products and/or services exported directly or indirectly? Is there a plan to begin exporting directly or indirectly as a result of this loan? Or is this an export working capital program? So there's about 6 different 7A loans you can apply for, and depending on which program you're applying for, these would be questions that you have to answer, such as provide the estimated total export sales this loan will support, list of principal countries of export, list at least one. Okay. Here are questions about the ownership of the company as well. And now here you have some representations and acknowledgments. You read through these and then you sign, date, print your name and put your title. Continue. And now we have the borrower information form. And for all owners of the business, you will have to print out this section for each owner. And so because I'm a sole proprietor, which has one owner, I will list this out one time. I own all 100%. So individual owner's full legal name, earlier, COVID loans, Social Security number, tax identification number, Social Security number for me, date of birth, place of birth, city, state, and country. So, okay. Home address, home phone. See, this is really not a hard application to fill out. Percent of ownership, applicant's legal name. All right, and here you list whether or not your veteran status, not a veteran, gender, male, race, American, ethnicity, non-Hispanic, and more yes or no questions to answer. And also, when you answer these questions in this particular area, you will initial for each question. More questions about citizenship, yes or no, you country of citizenship, initial, and more yes or no questions. Fun. Okay. So now that you did all the yes or no questions, more representations, acknowledgments, and authorizations. And then you sign, date, print your name and title. And now this section is to be answered if the business is owned by another entity. So if not, this section will be left blank. If you are a business that has an entity that owns it, the entity ownership information will be listed here. And it's the same information that we listed right above this section. It's just for the entity owner. For example, entity owner legal name, tax identification number. And so you fill that information out the exact same way as the last section. Acknowledgements, authorizations, representations. And then it is signed by an authorized representative of the entity that owns the business. So that will be for them to sign, print, and date. And the rest of the form is just acts and other disclosures associated with this program. So overall, this form is very simple to fill out. Just answering the yes or no questions may be a little time consuming, but that's how you complete the SBA Form 1919.